All right, so here's an exciting move. We're gonna do a pop turn variation where we add a grapevine to the mix.
And this is fancy.
I think so. It looks a little something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Lovely. So, the first things first is you have to be able to do a lovely pop turn, and this pop turn is not going to move or project quite as far. We want this pop turn to kind of exist in front of the leader. Leaders, you want to catch your partner's back so that you can position that left foot of your follow behind and go into a grapevine.
So we're taking out the second triple step with this moment. If we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, that's where we're going to get a step into our shape. One more time, leaders. Rock, step, triple step, step.
5.
And what I'm doing is I catch Evita here. This left hand is catching her right for support to slow her down. But then my hand across her back is saying, step behind. Boom. Boom. So what I would recommend that we do when we practice this, before we try to just go into it, if we take our partner in a closed position, hand to hand like this, right hand leaders around the back, can you get your partner to step in a grapevine fashion? So behind and in front, and behind and in front.
This is very much like a tango ocho feeling, or do they call them ochos? Basically, I'm sorry, I don't know the terminology, but basically it's when the leader stays on the spot and the follower walks around. So you'll notice that Michael is not doing particularly fancy footwork. In fact, he could stay completely still and just focus on my journey around him. It is important, however, that Michael is sculpting whether or not my left foot goes in front or behind.
When we do this, actually before we even touch each other, we would recommend that in your space, wherever you practice, we would recommend starting with just a basic grapevine down the line. So if you've never done one especially, it's good to understand what your hips and feet are doing as they orient themselves. To begin with, choose your right foot, and you're going to step out to the side. And as you step out to the side, start to rotate your hips forward so that you step in front with your left foot. Now from here, you're going to take another step to the side and flatten out like this. And then you're going to rotate your hips the other way and step behind yourself.
And that stepping behind with the left foot is the critical moment that we're looking for to catch our follows after that pop turn.
Okay? So doing side in front and side behind and side in front and side behind as a way to practice your grapevine like this helps you orient your hips the way they need to so you step in front or behind. Now when we do this, we can do that same idea but doing it in a circular fashion. So we're both, as a partnership, we're going to face each other. We're going to step out to the right and we're going to step in behind ourselves first. So we're going to go to the right, step behind, step to the side, and then in front. Take the side, behind, and side, front.
And then
Side.
to further this, see if the leaders can stay on the spot and not do the grapevine, but move the follow around in the grapevine. Right? So now we're working on the leader being the center of this circle, and the follower is walking on the circumference around.
And as we do this exercise, again, the follows are practicing doing the grapevine, but leaders, we're practicing through this two-hand hold how to orient the shoulders and the hips, and thus the feet, to either step side, behind, or in front. And that's really important for us leaders to learn how to convey that to our partner.
It's easier if you're holding forearms. Ultimately, though, we want to be able to do this in a closed position. So if we turn this way, you're gonna see the work that Michael's right arm has to do to rotate my body and get me to step behind.
Yep, so it's behind to the side.
Now this is the next really important part. Michael's right arm, specifically his elbow, is going to rotate down, which helps to push me through. So we'll see that again over here. Right here, Michael's right elbow is going to press down and roll, which helps my rib cage and my left foot come through.
Yep. One more time on this, just so you can see it on a profile. Behind, I drop the elbow, and as I drop the elbow, leaders, I'm actually pulling along this rib, boom, to get her to step in front. So all of that works in concert to make that feel like a one gesture. Here, side, behind, and in
Now
front.
right here, one more magical secret moment. When Michael lifts his right elbow up, my inner left arm is also paying attention to that. So when he lifts his elbow up, that helps to rotate my sternum, my chest back to him, and we reset to do the grapevine over and over again.
Can I tell you a little secret?
Tell me.
About that moment that you just said?
Yeah.
This elbow lifting up and down not only works for this grapevine moment, but it's the same idea that we talk about in our pop turn.
That's right.
So when we do that pop turn, remember that the elbow is high, I drop the elbow low, and then we pop out for that release. So it's the same gesture that we use for the pop turn as we make for the grapevine.
So if we do this idea with counts, we're going to see a couple of different options on how to get out of the grapevine.
We're going to do the pop turn once into one grapevine, and to get out of that, we're going to use one triple step. That's our rule before we see anything, before you get too far into it. Again, one pop turn into the grapevine, and to get out of it, we're going to use one triple step. And leaders, we're going to do that triple step with our right foot, follows with their left. Watch what we mean. We have a pop turn. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2.
That was with the leader's right foot and the follower's left foot, and we backed out of it. Let's do that one more time.
Got it.
That was lovely.
Thank you. 1, 2, 3,
3,
and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, and 2. And you can see, leaders, that not only is the rhythm important, but also the direction or the trajectory. That's a hard one to say, trajectory. So the pop turn and the grapevine are a very circular sensation.
Yes.
It's like two planets kind of orbiting each other. But when we want to get out of this, we need to take a line or a linear direction to say we're done with the grapevine.
Last time looking at the trajectory lines, rock step, triple step, grapevine, grapevine, triple down a trajectory or down a line. Cool.
Okay. Now, when you get into these grapevines, what's really exciting is that you can, from a grapevine, do another pop turn. And it looks like this.
I think this is where it gets really pretty and fancy.
Rock step, triple step, grapevine, 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 grape pop, grapevine, 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 grape pop, like that. So that's a continuous idea where you're doing pop turns into grapevines, into pop turns, into grapevines. And the reason that that works...
And you get a little dizzy.
Sorry. The reason that that works, leaders and followers, is because, like we said before, this elbow down and up idea is universal in both the grapevine and the pop turn.
And so as we're doing the grapevine around, every single time that Michael has my left foot cross in front, every single time my left foot crosses in front, this is an opportunity for him to give me a pop turn.
Leaders, how do you know when her foot's in front? There's two ways that I can use that I know. Number one, I can see.
Hey!
But number two, even if I couldn't, it's when the elbow is low. That's when the spring is loaded to do the pop turn. So, one more time from a pop turn. Rock, pop, triple step, high, low, pop. That's that moment. So once the elbow is low, her foot, the inside foot, which is her left, should be stepping forward, and you're ready to do another pop.
Now the interesting thing about this is if you do 2 pop turns, because of the triple step in my turn, it's going to put us on a different count, or on the even beat or the odd beat is going to switch. So the way that we would get out of this one is a little bit different.
So now we're going to use 2 triple steps. That means, leaders, the first triple step we do is with our left and then our right. Follows is with your right and then your left. Watch what we mean. From a pop turn, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a 6, 7, and 8.
Oh.
So because I did 2 pop turns in this shape, I did 2 triple steps for us to get out of it.
Let's do that one more time.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a 6, 7, and 8. Because you'll notice that the first pop turn put my grapevine on an odd beat every time I crossed behind. But the second time we did it, and I did my turn, it put my step on an even beat. And it just affects where we conclude our basic shape so that we can make sure our regular rock step is on an odd count.
So this is an advanced plus idea, so of course you're probably already ahead of us in this next idea.
In counting.
But I'm going to tell you this already. Really, generally speaking, leaders, you can do as many grapevines as you want before you get out of it. And when we say 1 pop turn equals 1 triple step to get out of it, really what that means is if you do an odd number of pop turns, you use 1 triple step, and if you do an even number of pop turns in the grapevine combination, then you need 2 triple steps to get back onto our normal beat.
Have fun with that math.
And have fun with that move. Bam.